They're not watching you because they admire you. They're studying you for patterns. And the moment you respond without thinking, you've already revealed how to control you. Most people believe manipulation is loud, obvious, and easy to spot. But in reality, it's quiet. It hides in friendly conversations, subtle compliments, and moments that feel almost normal. You've probably experienced it without even realizing, when someone made you feel guilty for saying no, when you explained yourself too much, or when you walked away from a conversation feeling strangely smaller. The truth is, manipulation isn't about force. It's about psychology. And once you understand the patterns, you stop reacting and start seeing the game for what it really is. Think about this. You're sitting across from someone you trust, a colleague, a friend, maybe even a partner. The conversation starts casually. "I just feel like you've changed," they say softly. You pause. "What do you mean?" They sigh. "Nothing. It's just, you used to care more." Now you feel it, that subtle pull in your chest. Guilt, confusion, the urge to explain yourself. "I do care," you respond quickly. "I've just been busy lately." They interrupt with a small smile. "Relax. I didn't say you didn't care. But now it's too late. You've already stepped into their frame. You're explaining, defending, trying to fix something that was never clearly defined." And that's when it hits you later that night. You weren't having a conversation. You were being positioned. Here are 4 incredible ways to outsmart manipulators. Number 1, the mirror defense. Manipulators don't attack directly. They observe first. They watch how you react to pressure. They listen for hesitation in your voice. They notice how quickly you try to fix discomfort. And most importantly, they mirror you. If you're warm, they become warmer. If you're open, they become more vulnerable. If you seek approval, they give it, just enough to keep you leaning forward. This is the hook. Because when someone feels like you trust them. And when you trust them, you lower your guard. But here's what most people don't realize. That connection you feel isn't always real. It's often engineered. The mirror defense is your first layer of protection. Instead of fully engaging emotionally, you begin to subtly reflect less than you receive. If they open up quickly, you slow down. If they push for closeness, you maintain space. If they mirror you, you break the rhythm. Why? Because manipulators rely on emotional synchronization. They need you to feel aligned so they can guide you without resistance. But when you stop giving them a predictable emotional pattern, something shifts. They can't read you as easily. And when they can't read you, they can't control you. This isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming intentional. You're no longer reacting automatically. You're watching. Number 2, the emotion vacuum. Manipulators feed on emotional reactions, not just anger or sadness, but any reaction that reveals what matters to you. Excitement, defensiveness, the need to be understood. All of it becomes data, and once they have that data, they know exactly where to press. This is why arguments with manipulators feel so exhausting. You're not just expressing yourself, you're unknowingly giving them ammunition. The emotion vacuum changes that completely. Instead of reacting, you create space. When they provoke you, you pause. When they accuse you, you stay neutral. When they push for a response, you give them less. Not silence out of fear, silence out of control. Imagine this. They say, "You always make everything about yourself." Instead of defending, you simply respond, "That's your perspective." And then you stop. No explanation, no emotional spike, no attempt to correct them. At first, this feels unnatural, almost uncomfortable, because you were taught to explain, to fix, to clarify. But here's the shift. When you remove emotional fuel, manipulation loses its power source. They can't escalate what you refuse to energize. And slowly something fascinating happens. The dynamic reverses. Now they're the ones trying to get a reaction from you, and the more they try, the more control you gain. Number 3, strategic delay and reward reversal. Manipulators depend on speed more than strength. They rush conversations, they pressure decisions, they create urgency where none exists. Just tell me now, why are you overthinking it? It's not that complicated. But it is complicated, because the faster you respond, the less you think. And the less you think, the easier you are to guide. Speed is not confidence. Speed is vulnerability. Strategic delay disrupts this entirely. Instead of reacting on impulse, you slow everything down. I'll think about it. Give me some time. I'll let you know later. These aren't weak responses. They are controlled interruptions. Because when you delay, you force the interaction out of their emotional tempo and into your logical frame. You regain authorship of the moment, and something subtle happens. They lose rhythm. Manipulators rely on emotional momentum, the continuous push that keeps you slightly off balance. But when you pause, that momentum collapses. Now they have to wait. Now they have to wonder. And that uncertainty, it's unfamiliar territory for them. But strategic delay alone isn't enough. You must also change what you reward. Most people unknowingly reinforce manipulation patterns. When they guilt you, you explain. When they withdraw, you chase. When they pressure, you comply. That's training. You're teaching them exactly how to control you. Reward reversal flips the conditioning. You only give your time, attention, and emotional energy when behavior is direct, respectful, and clear. If they manipulate, you disengage. If they distort, you stay neutral. If they communicate honestly, you respond fully. Now the rules have changed. They no longer get results from pressure. They only get results from clarity. And here's the deeper shift. You're no longer reacting to behavior. You're shaping it. At first, they may escalate, push harder, test more, try new angles. That's not failure. That's resistance to losing control. But if you stay consistent, something inevitable happens. They either adapt or they leave, and either outcome works in your favor. The exit threat and ambiguity armor. At some point, every manipulator tests one final boundary: control through fear. Fear of losing them, fear of conflict, fear of being misunderstood. They might say things like, maybe we shouldn't talk anymore. I guess I mean less to you now. Do whatever you want. These aren't statements, they're probes. They're checking if you'll chase, reassure, or submit. This is where most people lose, because the instinct to preserve connection kicks in. But the exit threat requires a different response. You don't chase, you don't panic, you accept the possibility. Okay, I understand, if that's what you want, and you mean it. Because the moment they realize you're not afraid to walk away, their leverage disappears. You're no longer controllable. And then comes the final layer, ambiguity armor. You stop over-explaining, you stop revealing every thought, you stop making yourself easy to read, not in a defensive way, but in a controlled, grounded presence. You answer questions simply. You keep your plans private. You allow silence to exist without filling it, because the less predictable you are, the harder you are to manipulate. And here's the truth most people never hear. Power isn't loud. It doesn't argue, prove, or chase. It observes, it chooses, it walks away when necessary. Let's conclude. You were taught to be kind, open, and understanding. And those traits aren't weaknesses, but in the wrong hands, they become entry points. This isn't about becoming cold or ruthless. It's about becoming aware. Because the world isn't always fair, but it is predictable. Manipulators follow patterns, and now, so do you. From this point forward, you don't react, you calculate, you don't explain, you observe. You don't seek approval, you define your own value. Because once you see the game clearly, you're no longer the target. You're the one they can't figure out. If this resonates with you, like the video so you can see more content like this from us. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.